0, 1. Let's get started.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Black and White United Show. I'm your host Andre, so welcome to my YouTube channel. We're just going to cut straight to it. This is not going to be a long one today, but it just needs to be said, and read the room, Jack Ginnivan. Now, we all saw what happened last night, and it doesn't really matter who you wanted to win. Obviously, I didn't really care who won the game, whether it was Port or Hawthorn, but I did feel as if I probably wanted Hawthorn to get up, in the sense of I would have thought it would be nice to see Port go out in straight sets again. With that being said, as the game sort of went on, I sort of changed a bit of who I wanted to, and then I just got caught up in the spectacle of an actual really good game of football that it was. But let's just get to what Ginnivan said on Instagram when he said to Grundy and Heaney, "See you in 14 days." And then what happened at the end of the game. So, yeah, great game, whatever. You know, both teams could have won, should have, would have, could have. Who cares? Just who cares? However, the stuff that Hinkley said to Ginnivan, I personally think it was warranted. I'm a bit more old school. I don't know, people come out now and say, "Oh, coach can't do this, coach can't say that." Yeah, you know what? Probably, yeah, that's right. But he's allowed to say something, considering what Ginnivan did. Now, it probably should have come from a player if you look at the bigger picture. And if you're a bit more progressive and soft these days, yes, it should have come from a player, if anything was to be said. But I love that. I mean, it's a really heated game. It's a heated contest. It's finals footy. It's not as if it was a season game where it's like, oh, whatever, we'll play them again or we'll see them in finals. Who cares? It was a do or die final. And the fact that Hinkley came out after the pressure he's been on, said something to Ginnivan. I'm deep down, I'm all for that. If that's how he feels, he has to come out in the press conference and say that, he was, it got the better of him. This is that. He's saying that so Laura Kane doesn't drop a big fine on him. That's it. He's going to get a pleasing spate from the AFL, 100%. What I do like from the Hawthorn stance is that the fact that Ginnivan didn't really mouth off, but Sicily came in and said a few words. To me, whether you like Hawthorn or not, whether you like Sicily or not, and we can have differences of opinion, so make sure you drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe, do everything, and we can have a chat. I love it. I love democracy. I love footy. It's the fucking best. But the fact that Sicily came out and he said something to Hinkley, I am so all for that. That captain defending his players, whatever. Doesn't change the fact of what Ginnivan said was right or wrong. He shouldn't have done that, especially on social media. Come on, mate. What are you doing? Mouth off during the game, whatever. That's probably what I would have done if I was in his position. But then again, I wouldn't have said anything. But the fact that you've got a coach who's fired up, a captain defending his teammate, it was so good to see. It was so good to see. It was just you know what? This is old school footy. There's a rivalry there. That these two clubs have clashed in finals before. 2014 being probably the biggest one in that prelim final, where Hodge did that smother and they ended up winning, and then Hawthorn winning the granny and smashed Sydney. Probably their best grand final performance out of the three in a row. So there was a whole bunch of different elements towards it. However, from our point of view, from a Collingwood point of view, all the drama aside, read the room, Jack. McRae was right. And I put this message out to all the Collingwood supporters that, we can give it to Ginnivan. At the end of the day, he's still a premiership player, and we can say whatever you want. I can say whatever I want. At the end of the day, he's in Collingwood folklore. He's in the books. He's a premiership player. He's a Magpie for life. You can't argue that 100%, regardless of how crap his grand final day performance was. I would prefer if he gave the medal to John Noble, but whatever. He's a Collingwood premiership player. Always respect that. But Craig McRae was right. The decision the club made to trade him off was the best thing. We can have a go at Lachie Schultz. We can complain about all the stuff that he did throughout the season, getting suspended, playing shit games or whatever. The fact is, Schultz was still one of our leading goal kickers. Schultz does a lot more around the ball that Ginnivan doesn't do. Ginnivan goes into the pack, tries to get the free kick. It worked for us last year. It didn't work for us last year. It worked for Hawthorn this year. It didn't work for Hawthorn this year. Can he kick clutch goals? He kicked one last night, Ginnivan, whatever, on the boundary line. Then he shanked the other one, where I find that Lachie Schultz is, you know what? He might be having a shit game, but he won't stop. And it's that manic pressure, especially with players like Bo getting more midfield time, Jamie Elliott on the outer. Or when I say on the outer, he might have 1 or 2 seasons left. Hoskin Elliott doing his thing. You need that manic pressure. And this ties back to my last video about Jake Stringer. You put him in there and you've got him out of the forward. Sometimes he can go to the midfield. And you've got Lachie Schultz running around. I mean, it's the first season blues, like whatever. Like next year he'll be a total different player, and he could be the spark that we need. I don't see Ginnivan ever being that. I don't see Ginnivan if he was at Collingwood ever being that. He was a match winner. He did the stuff. So I put this message out to the Collingwood supporters, and last night just solidified my thoughts throughout the whole season. You got to give Lachie Schultz a break. Give him a break. You got to let him... all right, his first season, he was still one of our leading goal kickers, so you can't say too much. He got suspended once, he had a couple of crap games, who cares, right? We went into the preseason as a whole thinking, fuck, you know, we're going to get close here, we're going to go deep in September. We weren't that. But imagine how shit would have been if we didn't have Schultz. He didn't kick as many goals as he did. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I've got to get my stats out, but I don't have it with me at the moment. But he was one of our leading goal kickers. I don't know if Ginnivan could have done that. Ginnivan can hang out the back of the pack. Ginnivan can go for free kicks. But at the end of the day, that's not what you want. You don't want some pack sitter. You don't want a front runner. You don't want anything like that at all. So give Lachie Schultz a break. Last night solidified it. But at the end of the day, Craig McRae was 110% correct. Read the room, Jack. And you didn't. I'm all for Hinkley having a go. I'm all for Sicily having a go back. But as Pie supporters, fuck, it was good to see. It was good to see. Anyway, enjoy your holidays, Hawthorn. Welcome to the September holiday pack for this year. And have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever. But Craig McRae, 100% correct. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment. Call it as you see it. And we'll see what happens the rest of the final series. But more importantly, go the Pies. 0